Hello, we're still on chemical reactions. So far, we have talked about physical and chemical changes. We've also talked about rate of a reaction. When a physical change occurs, no new substance is formed. It is only a change in state of the same substance. For example, water changes state from liquid to solid. That is a physical change. When we say a chemical change has taken place, we're talking about new substances being formed. When hydrogen combines with oxygen in the ratio 2:1, we get water. That is for physical and chemical changes. The rate of a reaction is telling us how fast a reaction is taking place. Today, as I stated, we are going to talk about reversible reactions. Now, what is a reversible reaction? It is a reaction in which reactants form products, and products can then react to break down to form reactants, can then react or break down to form reactants. So reactants are forming products. That is how a normal chemical equation should proceed, or a chemical reaction should proceed. Reactants disappear, products appear. But in this case, in a reversible reaction, the reactants will form the products, and then the products will also form the reactants. So in this forward reaction, here we have our reactants giving us our products. In this backward reaction, this side will become our reactants, and then we get our products. So the reaction is proceeding in two different directions. A reversible reaction can proceed in either direction depending on certain conditions. Now in this case, if the water is allowed to evaporate, we are only going to be left with copper sulfate, and then there will be no water present. If there's no water present, that means they cannot react to give us this anhydrous copper sulfate or hydrated copper sulfate. If this water is not present, we are not going to get this. But when the water is present, they will combine and then give us our blue color again. So here copper sulfate is heated, we get anhydrous copper sulfate. You add water, and then you come back to your hydrated copper sulfate. That is what we call a reversible reaction. It is a reaction that takes place in two different directions, provided certain conditions are met.